Hello and welcome. So normally I don't pay too much attention to graphical changes as usually it's nothing too fantastic, but this looks like it's a huge improvement. This is footage of the RuneScape 3 closed beta. Now this is a beta, it's not the final product. The goal of the beta is to optimize it as much as possible for proper use. Aside from expected performance issues from betas on launch, it looks promising. So I should note that RS3 is an optional change. You'll be able to play via the Java client should you wish, or you can play from HTML5, which is RS3, if you want. So you can choose either, it's optional. So I took a few screenshots in near 2560 by 1440 pixels on top of Alcor Castle just to see how far away you could see, seeing the bright and dark differences between the desert and Lumbridge Swamp, as well as landmarks far in the distance, like the Duel Arena. But these next two is where I think it'll really improve RuneScape for newer players, being able to see large structures in the distance and wonder what they are. Now, veteran players already know what the landmarks are, but seeing the Minion Tower and seeing the mining camp from the Tourist Trap quest really shows just how far you can see. And as a new player to these area, you may be curious of what it is. Previously, it was difficult to navigate through the desert as well as other densely forested areas with few landmarks visible due to the limited draw distance of around 16 squares away, which made it pretty hard to explore with the limited view. So this optional improvement should really help there. I tried running around to check a few areas out, like when you log in you can see the world load around you, which is kind of cool in some areas. I saw some gifs on Reddit about loading Varrock Square, about loading Alcarid, so there's that. So a while ago, Jagex brought up the topic of day and night cycles for RuneScape, but on how that doesn't really work out too well with a game that has users all around the world. So they decided to add areas where certain areas are brighter and certain areas are darker. And when you cross these borders to the other areas, the shadows will change accordingly. You also now have an actual shadow. It no longer is just a circle under your foot. You actually see the shadow look like what you're wearing. There are some areas that are just awful bright, although this is a snowy hunter area, so I guess that does kind of make sense. So a few things. Currently, the Terran Share interface is not available in the beta yet, where you can freely customize your window however you want, make things bigger, smaller, have what you want in there, or just have nothing at all. Hopefully it's released in the near future, but another thing also is that now that we have a longer draw distance, what does that mean for how RuneScape actually looks? Sure, you could see further, but content in the past were designed around the blocky pathing system that we have today, where, say, a normal person could only see up to maybe around 16 squares away and could only see NPCs and monsters around 12 to 13 steps away. But now that we can see further, the distance between islands does not seem that much anymore. As, say, you could be at Port Hazard and you could pretty much see Brimhaven on the other side. It doesn't even seem that far away. You could probably swim across if swimming was a skill. One thing I think they should do if they can with the increased draw distance is increase the render distance for NPCs and players. If they can't do that, hopefully they can make an exception for certain NPCs like the Demon Flash Mob, which would be a great example. Say like you're passing by and notice some weird things off in the distance and it just so happened to be a Demon Flash Mob or just another D&D. You wouldn't even have to know that it was going to be there by the notification in your chat, but because of the increased render distance of that exception, you would see that it was there. So besides some expected issues with the beta, such as, well, even like issues that happened before the beta where like the areas that they graphically reworked tend to be harder to load than older areas of the game. So from this, what do you guys think? And what areas would you like to actually see? Because RuneScape is a massive place, and to go all over the place to check every single location would take quite a while. So I'm trying to think of areas that looked nice before and might even look better now. So tell me what you think. As always, thank you very much for watching and have a nice day.